Hello fellow human, hope you guys have a marvelous day and let's read some r/I don't work here lady stories. To the first one, called Creep because I don't work at the school I work at. So I work as an IT consultant under a long-term contract for a school, thus making me not an employee. I've been working at this school for many months now, so all the staff and a few parents know me. None of the regularly employed staff require uniforms or have any identification, except being on the website staff list, which I'm not a part of. Tuesday of this week, I'm walking back onto school grounds after getting some food, a good hour after school got out when one of the parents I saw earlier beelines towards me from the parking lot. Me equals to me, RP equals to parent, and B equals to awesome office person. Parent: I've seen you around here creeping on the kids. You need to go away before I report you to the staff and the police. I'm caught really off guard because I almost never interact with parents except through email or the occasional one chatting with other staff. Me, sorry, I actually work here. I'm an RP. I've looked at the website list and you aren't anywhere on there. I've even spoken to other parents and they are concerned for the kids' safety. You need to leave right now before I call the police. Me, look. We can go into the office and talk to A, B, or possibly C if she's still in. RP: Yeah, then they can call the police themselves and you won't be able to run. Okay, don't follow the logic train with that one. Regardless, we walk over and into the office. Luckily, someone is still working the front office. The lady is about to speak, but I immediately chime in and say, me: Hey B, can you please verify that I work here as IT support? B, really confused, says, yes, he works here? He's been here for a couple of months now. RP: Then why isn't he on the website? And why doesn't he have a badge? B: Well, we didn't feel like a badge was necessary as everyone here knows him and he was introduced at the school assembly. RP: Then sent out an email to all the parents because many of us have been concerned. B: Do you actually think we would just let some random guy walk onto our campus like that? You're fine. Me: Well, you can go. I left while they were still talking because I had a lot of work to do. I can see where much of the confusion was, and I'm not offended, but considering there are dozens of parents and staff unmarked on campus a day, also the fact that no person is initially allowed on campus without first verifying their identity at least once, me showing up many times should have been a hint. Or OP could have answered like this: Well ma'am, you're not on the website either, and I've seen you around here creeping on the kids. What's your excuse? On to the second story. I don't work here anymore. So this happened a few months ago and friends said I should post it when I was telling the story the other day. I used to work for a large bargain chain in the UK. I hated it. I liked the people I worked with and a few of the managers, but the company and the majority of the customers were and are awful. The pay was rubbish and the way the company treated us was just crap. But I needed a job. As you know, I like to eat and pay my bills. So I stuck it out for a few years while applying for other jobs. And finally, the gods saw fit to get me a better job out of retail. I've been working at my new job over a year now, but I still go into my old work because A, I like to catch up with the people I like who still work there, and B, I love a good bargain. Now, on to our story. I was pushing my trolley around, just browsing the shelves when I hear a cough behind me. I ignore it and continue on my way. Then I hear an "Excuse me?" I continue to ignore it as it's not a voice I recognize and it's nothing to do with me. Then comes the sharp tap on the shoulder. Excuse me? I turn around and I see a former regular customer. She was always a nightmare and was one of the many reasons I was glad to get out of retail. She will be NC for nightmare customer and I will be me, and FM will be former manager. Me, well, I beg your pardon. Nightmare customer: Don't think you can ignore me. I want you to get me ABC item. Me, sorry, I don't work here? And C,
Yes, you do. I've seen you behind the tills. You served me last week.
Me, no, I didn't. I used to work here, but haven't in nearly a year. So, I don't work here. Get someone else to help you.
And C, well, you're here now, so you can help me.
Me, nope. And C,
What do you mean now?
me, I don't work here. Now kindly piss off and let me finish my shopping.
And C, you can't talk to me like that. I'll have you sacked. Where is your manager?
Me, well, no ducking idea. And I walked off while she was screeching like a banshee and I finished my shopping. I get to the tills and I'm loading my shopping onto the belt, chatting to my former manager when she comes charging over and starts yelling. And C,
You.
points at former manager.
I want her sacked.
Points at me.
She was rude and swore at me.
FM, well, sorry, madam, I cannot fire her. She doesn't work here.
And C, don't you lie to me. I know she works here.
FM, no, she doesn't. She used to, but left for another job.
And C, shut up. She swore at me and was so rude to me, so you need to sack her.
FM, I cannot sack her. She's a customer. Me, like I said, I don't work here.
And C, this is ridiculous. I want the manager.
FM, well, I am a manager and she does not work here. Me, nope, I'm free, and I'm also leaving. Bye, FM. FM, bye, redheads.
And C, why is she leaving?
Me, because I ducking can, you belligerent old bat. And I pushed my trolley out of the shop and went on with my day. Next time I went in, FM had a story to tell me. Apparently NC was so awful after I left, she swore, threw things and generally behaved like a toddler throwing a massive tantrum that the deputy manager banned her from the store. So, FM has said, if I see any other nightmare customer to see if I can rile them up into getting them banned. I said, I make no promises. Well, I certainly love the idea of using former employees to ban troubled customers. The third story, I played as a manager to help a cashier. So I'm 24, 22 at the time, and I worked as a station agent in a French airport. Those are the people in suit that check you or your luggage in and even board you or deboard you from the planes. I worked with a French company for 8 months during the summer of 2018. Working there was the best. Great hours, big pay, people are a-hole, but honestly, not so bad once you learn how to deal with them properly. One of my favorite part of this job were the hours, either from 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. or from 1 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. No weekends nor public holidays. For most people, that is probably bad, but for me, it was paradise. We would get days off by cycle, and having days off in the middle of the week rocks. Go get groceries with almost nobody in the stores, all governmental agencies open, and less people are around because they are working. A paradise. Now, for the first 5 months there, I would always come dressed in suit. Full suit even in the middle of summer, with a tie and everything. So I would go home or stop to stores in the suit as well. After a while, I got tired and started to change clothes arriving and leaving from work. This story, of course, happened when I was still coming and leaving from work in a full suit. It was around 3 months after I started. By then, wearing a suit became natural. No more of that weird, uncomfortable feeling while wearing it. It became normal. Even more, I got used of changing my attitude while wearing it, like my posture and people, even in the streets, would think I am a more successful person just because I wear a suit. And I also got quite used to noticing people needing help, problematic customers and all that. I leave work at 3 or 4 p.m., had to stay longer to cover for someone, and head to a store to bring a faulty electronic I bought there. I walked to the store, wearing only my suit and carrying the thing in a bag. I head toward customer service and immediately noticed a man, hands on the counter, leaning toward the cashier. She will be Julie. and all her colleagues look tense, eyeing the guy. I shrug. Not my problem. I'm not paid to deal with that one. I turn to sit and notice that all the seats are taken, so I stay up and pull out my phone. Meanwhile, this guy starts to speak louder and louder. From what I got, the issue was that he wanted to use the store card of his wife, but the store policy is that you cannot use the card of another customer even if you're their relative, as the card can be used to make credit. The guy gets more and more heated up and starts calling around for other people to join. That immediately ticks me off. When I was in training to become a station agent, we learned of different types of customers. I won't go into detail, but this guy is what we call a red customer. Someone that will rally others to help them get what they want. I see Julie on the verge of tears and I try to think of something to do while the guy starts throwing slurs at her. I finally notice a paper hanging near the counter and take action. I drop my bag, adjust my tie, take my best manager face and walk to the guy. As soon as he notices me, he smirks and turns to me. "You're the manager?" To which I reply, "Yes." While looking at both him and the cashier as if to judge the situation, Julie turns white. He points at her and says, "This employee is discriminating against me. I want to use a discount on my wife's store card. I have her ID. There's no reason that..." I then take a step forward. I'm not tall, and this guy's taller than me, but he still stops while I get into his face. Without a word, I point at the paper I saw earlier. It's a notice saying that any kind of harassment or insult towards an employee will result in a lawsuit and fine for the customer. It's his time to turn white, or whiter. He opens his mouth, but I'm faster. Well, she is right. If you want to use that card, you need your wife to be here. Now, I have to ask you to leave, or I will have to call security. But first, you will apologize. You have been beyond insulting to her. A security guard that is always near steps closer. He turns to the woman, apologizes in a weak voice, and quickly walks off. I walk to Julie and ask her if she's okay. She thanks me profusely. Then another worker comes to me and asks me what to do with a product returned by another client. I giggle, pulling out my airport ID and simply states, "Sorry, I don't work here. I just cannot stand people like this." I was allowed to pass first, got a refund, and smiles from everyone on the team. A good day indeed. Well, that is how you use your training to help others. Wholesome post. The fourth story. I'm just a student, Karen. I was cleaning some kiln shelves off in the ceramic studio during open lab hours. A student and her mother came into the kiln yard and I overheard the student say, "Ow, my pieces didn't get fired." Not my business. I'm just a student and I'm wrapping up my last personal firing of the semesters. A few seconds later, there is an aggressive, almost painful tapping on my shoulder.
Why didn't her work get fired? It was supposed to be ready to take home today.
Student, "Mom, that is not my teacher." This goes unheard or ignored by the mother. Me, sorry, I'm just a student here. I don't fire others' work.
Mom, we need her work done by Friday. She's graduating and we're leaving the state. You're so selfish for not putting her stuff in that kiln. I saw how much room you have in there.
Student, looking absolutely mortified behind mom. Me, explains that I was firing porcelain and that her daughter's work was low fire clay and would have melted in the kiln. Also state that I'm not allowed to fire other students' pieces unless given the go-ahead by my professor. Mom,
that is unacceptable. Get off your fat butt and fire her work. I paid $1,500
BS by the way,
for this class and she's going to take home everything she made.
Me, goes back in the studio. Mom following me in the upper division area, which is off limits to most people.
Get back here.
I ignore her, just trying to wrap up a couple of bolts so I can put them in my bag. She then notices all the work in the advanced space and starts touching it. Mom,
why aren't you in the intro classes given projects like this? For how much the course is, the content should be better.
Student, Mom, we need to learn the basics first. Also ignored. I'm not blocked from exiting the space by a very angry woman who's got her hand on a sculpture my classmate has been working on all semester. She keeps telling me I'm lazy and that firing takes no effort because the kilns are self-regulating. Our kilns are gassed and need constant monitoring over several hours. Finally, my saving grace arrives. Our shop manager, who's kind of a butthole with short fuse, but who I appreciate deeply for all he does, appears behind her. I can see the student pale a little bit, knowing what's coming. Lab manager: what the dog are you doing in the advanced space? Mom starts going off again. My lab manager looks calmly at me and tells me I can go. He clears the way and I take my chance. And just as I'm leaving the studio, I hear him start yelling. Justice at least, but my god! An angry witch of a woman and a very large oven. I believe I see a solution to this dilemma. On to the fifth story. Why does your employee dress like a tramp? This story happened while I was still in high school. I was shopping at a clothing store I go to very often. Usually the stores are structured so that they have women's, men's, and kids' clothes in sections connected by small walkways, but each section is its own separate room. It's really not hard to navigate because there are clear signs everywhere. I like to wander through all sections because I often find clothes that will fit me. On this particular day, I went after school on a Friday. My school has a uniform that consists of a white or blue polo with a plaid skirt and is widely recognizable in the area. The skirt was mid-thigh length on me due to my height. While it wasn't exactly knee length, I wouldn't call it short either, as I could safely bend down. I had an armful of clothes that I was going to try on later, and accidentally knocked some clothes off a rack with a hanger that was sticking out. The decent human thing to do would be to pick up what you dropped, right? Well, I bent down to pick it up when I hear someone huff and storm up behind me. I thought they were angry I was in the way, so I apologized to her and walked off. She wasn't a Karen. She was an older lady. She was Karen's mom. I'm going to call her Glenda. Suddenly, Glenda grabs my shoulder and jerks me backwards, making me drop my armful of clothes. Glenda: why are you ignoring me? I've been following you for 8 minutes now. You didn't even acknowledge me. Me: why did you touch me? Do I know you? Glenda: you ducking kids. I do not need to introduce myself to you to get your help. Me, still oblivious but annoyed. I'm sorry. What do you need my help? Glenda: are you dumb? Are you useless? Why did they hire you? I want to know where the hell blah blah is, and I cannot find it because of your confusing store layout. Me: I don't work here. You can follow the signs. Glenda: liar. You kids are so lazy. I can see you work here. You have the color red shirt on. At this point, I just turned around to walk away. I could hear her screaming after me about managers and how I'm incompetent, but I just wanted to get out of her near vicinity as soon as possible. Unfortunately, my plans of escaping were foiled, as I needed to pick up my clothes that dear Glenda threw on the ground for no reason. As soon as I bent down, Glenda screams, "Don't do that again, you tramp! Don't bend down in your little skank skirt! They should fire you for how you dress alone." Unfortunately, this isn't a satisfying story where I pressed charges and I got Glenda put away for assault. I was 14 and dumb and hated confrontation, so escaping from her was the best I could do. I picked up my clothes and put them away on the fitting room rack and left because I didn't feel like trying anything on anymore. On my way out, I saw Glenda yelling at someone, who I presume is the manager, and pointing in my general direction. I waved and walked right out. Best believe I'd be much more vindictive if it happened today. Well, thank you for introducing a new kind of breed of Karen, Glenda. That's it for today, fellow humans. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time.